Hello, I'm Deborah Wright of Ascribe Consulting, and today is a follow-up video from the previous one of how to search for grants to locate prospective funders. So the key idea here I want to leave with you is just to review your current funding strategies and look to other sources to find appropriate grant opportunities. So the first one is diversify your funding sources. Many grant writers look only at foundations, but there are other areas to look for to find grants that match your agency's mission. The first one is, I would say, look locally. So start with your community. Many times the community organizations may have very similar funding priorities as your agency does. You're in the same location, looking at the same constituency. So I would start there, looking for what is around you in the same city you're in, or in the rural area that you're in, or possibly different areas of the city that you live in. The next would be state grants, especially with education. Education grants often come through from the state that you're in. I would look there. The next is federal. The federal has initiatives that may involve the state that you're in, or the region that you're in, or the mission that you serve. You may be able to apply to a federal grant that way. But many grant writers do not look at private foundations. They may think, oh, they're too small, they're family run, they are of the family foundations, same as a private foundation, may not have a lot of money. But you may be surprised there that a family foundation may have very similar funding ideas that your agency may have, and you might find a good match there. And the last are corporations, the very large corporations that we know and love here in the United States that may suit your mission. But the larger corporations, their reach can be further out, but that's all right. They are a different source to look at. So those are 5 sources I can give you to look for grant funding that may actually work for your agency. The second tip I want to give you when you're performing a grant research is to look for areas that may quickly eliminate your agency from applying for a grant and being successful when you apply. Have your agency focused on, or let's say your grant writer focused on, funding limitations? What are the limits that the funder has stated that they will not fund? Is it the age of the constituencies that you serve? It could be for an education grant. It could be we only serve elementary. Or the funder can say we serve only middle and high school. Or the funder says we only fund college students going to college. So it takes time to take a quick look at the funding limitations in a grant. Also, another key area is location. Where does a funder's funds go to? What area? Is it a particular state? Small region in a state? Could it be a county within a state? Could be several counties together. So that's an important part to look at as you're vetting your grant opportunities, and those are often overlooked. The next one is is your mission similar to, as I mentioned earlier, similar to a funder. This is what the funder is looking at. Are you working on what we want to work on? We're providing funds for working, for instance, on children, the well-being of children, the technology in the school of children. We're looking only to fund elementary school students to provide that technology at the beginning part of their education. But if you're a high school looking for funding for technology, that grant may not suit your agency. The funder may say, no, you're not following our grant guidelines. Something to think about as you're looking for a funder that dovetails with your agency's mission statement. And the next one, which is number 4, is check to determine if your board members know someone in the agency that you're applying to. You may start a relationship from the person in your agency reaching out to someone they may know in the funding agency. Starting a relationship, starting the communication. You might find that that person at that funder may say, send your proposal to us. Let us take a look at it. We can tell you whether this is something we will fund or not. So that's a time saver for you. But it's not just that, but starting a relationship with the funders that you feel are a best fit for your agency is a wise tactic to do. And my last one, and it's a personal one from me, is be willing to fail and learn from your failures. We often apply for a grant thinking, oh, this would be a good fit, we should be funded, there's no question. And then we receive information in the form of a letter, email, or just letting us know that we are not a good fit for this agency. So learning from your failures through all the tips I've given you through this video should help you as you are tweaking your funding strategy and the ways you're looking at various foundations to apply for grants. So be willing to fail, learn from your failures, and keep going. This is Deborah from Ascribe Consulting. Thank you.